y'all, I'm Ellen. We've been super inspired by our journeys of self-healing and discovery.
And I'm Sam, and we want to share our experiences with you to help you get curious about yourself, reconnect, and get intentional about your life so you know what makes you happy.
Welcome to Woo New, the podcast.
So you guys, today is such a special day. I'm so excited for it. We are here with Christa Fontaine, the Madame. We are so thrilled to be here because this conversation has been such a long time coming. She is an entrepreneur. She's an artist. She's creator of female empowerment communities for female-owned small businesses. So all the things, amazing. Thank you so much for being here. We cannot wait to talk.
Same. Yeah. Just like a chuck in an internet. Like, yes, me too. 100%. My eye, as like my cheeks get rosier, I'm like, just smile. I'm like, yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. I love it. I love it.
Guys. So happy to be here.
Yeah. And so, you have such an inspiring story. I have been following you for quite some time now. And every time I see a new post from you, I get excited and it makes me smile. And so I think we would really love just to hear about how this last year has gone for you. It's included things like a vision quest, a move to Mexico, and starting and launching all these incredible new programs. Like, just tell us all about it.
Yeah, I'd love to. And I'm actually gonna jump way back, but very recently, which is that I just had a astrology reading, and she said, "What happened on February 2007?" And I was like, "Whoa, like let's go there." And I'm like, "Nothing. I was working at an all-inclusive resort in Turks and Caicos, just so casual. Actually, it was the day that I learned how to scuba dive, which, that was a career of mine for 7 years and living, all over the world, mostly Southeast Asia for the majority of my 20s. And she's just like, "You have lived." And there's never really timelines when I tell stories. I feel like I kind of dip in between like the mystical, the mythical, and the reality, and it's all just kind of like a cosmic blend, which is fun. So I feel like this is how the conversation, we're setting the tone already. Just anyways, let's go ahead. I had walked the Camino, a pilgrimage in Spain. That brought me back into North America for the first time in 11 years. I then spent 3 years on Vancouver Island, working as a holistic practitioner. My last official title was the Integrated Alchemist, always changing names, shifting gears. And that's kind of my magic, which I thought was a shadow for a very long time. I bought an RV. I'd never stepped foot in an RV in my life. I had my dog.
Wait, what inspired that decision? Were you just like, well, we're out of here?
I had always had this idea of kind of Mrs. Frizzle vibes, like Christa and her magical bus, doing the thing, and then once I had the dog, I was like, this is my co-pilot, she's my oracle and my soulmate. And now for us to continue traveling and living kind of the way that we do, it has to be by land. So we gotta, we'll just make that adjustment. So it was like a super full moon in Leo. I remember that night that it happened, and I found the RV the next day, and
wow.
Without even seeing it, I was like, it's mine. I went ahead and all of it was paid on credit card. I just was like, I wonder if I can transfer that money. And I I just did it on the day. I was just like,
wow.
I trust that this is going to work. I'll just put myself in the dark. But to get to the light, I'd have to, really go into the negative. And that's, the price you pay sometimes, literally, figuratively, metaphorically. So I was just ready to jet. It was like the carpet had been pulled out beneath me. And I had to go. I had to catapult myself into the great unknown, knowing that I was about to come very intimately face to face with one of the greatest transformations of my life.
Wow.
Not knowing at the time that that would be so intimately related with my mother's passing. So, 3 days on the road, and the last person in the world that I could have ever imagined that would be, like, my first guest, and, I'm thinking, "I'm gonna pick up hitchhikers, like, I'm gonna have stories, like, this is a whole thing," but my mom.
Wow.
So she flew from Toronto is where I'm from, and, she flew out, and I picked her up in San Francisco, and we hit the road. We were together for 9 days, and that'll be the last time that we were together, in the physical. So,
Wow.
I kept driving and, I've done some questionable things as a child, as a daughter, for a mother who cares, for her young more than anything. And, it was, like, the first time that I felt like she fully embraced my choices, my kinda kooky ideas, and was, like, just literally on board with what I was doing. You know,
Wait, can I
during
ask, like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
what what made her decide to kind of go on this journey with you?
Yeah, great question.
Such a great question. There was no explanation for it, and literally, 'cause
Uh,
she was well into her she had been diagnosed with Parkinson's, and so it was very unlike her to take a trip that was, like, anything less than, like, purely comfortable and luxurious kinda thing that was, like, really planned out and easy, predictable
Mhm.
even. So, she just was like, "I wanna be with my daughter," and I wanted that too, more than anything, and, I drove there was California fires at the time, and so I drove through the wildfires to meet her, and she flew through an ice storm to meet me, and
oh,
there was no
Gosh,
element
yeah.
in the world that was gonna stop us from being together.
oh my God, that makes me want to cry. I'm like,
I
I'm like
know.
actually crying right now. It was really beautiful.
Yeah.
So, on the 3rd day that we were together, we woke up on the coast in California, and I said, "Mom, where would you like to go today?" And she said, "Let's go to Vegas." And we did.
Wow.
So we went through Yosemite, we were in Death Valley. I That was the first time I was in the desert, my 33rd birthday, and my mom was with me for my birthday and my dog's birthday too. Um,
Aw.
and
Mm.
yeah, I have a Scorpio stellium in the 8th house, so I'm not afraid of, the dark and death and transformation, and I said, "I want to go to Death Valley," like, I feel really called to be in the desert, for this time, and so that was really special for us to be there together, and then we said our goodbyes in Vegas, not knowing at the time that would be our last time.
And she flew back to Toronto?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm. And I kept driving, I didn't want to. I but I there was it was such a magnetic force, like, there was no choices or me mapping out my it wasn't like a camping trip. It wasn't like me trying to, see the sights and do the things that I'd heard about or, like, seen on Instagram. It was like, I'm just, like, on the pulse right now, like, I am going, and yeah, so I spent some time, I arrived, where's that special little place near Joshua Tree? Pioneer Town? Have you guys been there?
Oh, love it. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, my favorite place ever.
And so I camped for a couple days outside of, like, Harriet, is it?
Happy as in Harriet's, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, I love that place.
Me too,
Oh,
me too, and I showed up kinda, like, a bit, raggedy and whatever and this and that, and the guy we connected, the man who kinda ran that camping, and he has a leather anyway, and he said, "Oh, the desert's got work to do with you, kid." Gave me a bundle of sage and a pack of ice and was like, "Stay
oh,
as long as you need," kinda. Um,
Wow.
And then it got pretty cold, as it does, and so then I went further south to Borrego Springs, and that's where I spent, a month, like, off the grid, just, like, totally solo, before coming to Mexico. So, yeah, it was wild. It was really wild.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's incredible.
How long was that stretch where you first started and then you got down to Mexico?
3 months.
Wow.
Mhm. Yeah.
You're like totally making me so road trip like hungry
Hungry.
right now.
Yeah.
I know, like just even what you said about waking up and asking your mom where she wanted to go. I was like, fuck,
Yeah.
man, that sounds awesome.
Like the
Mm.
ultimate freedom, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, and it was, and it still is. It's recreating and redefining what that means for us individually within the collective and, like, moving forward, with, like, true value at the center of, like, the way we live our life, and putting our values at the forefront like a carrot in front of a horse, being like, "I'm not I'm not reaching for something that's outside of me, I'm reaching from what's within me, and I'm following that."
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What made you decide to go down to Mexico?
There was no like, I had spent so many years living in the tropics and in, warmer climate, and I like to live in a place where, like, you see cops smoking cigarettes on the job, like, that works for me. Like, I like a little bit of corruption, a little bit of grit, and warmth, and I like to be in a place where, like, anything can happen. I love the coast, and then I'd also had this new affinity for the desert, and, like, Baja was it. Like, that was it. It was like, "Hello, I don't know if you've heard of this place, but, it's the Baja." I did have a friend, and I do have a friend, he's like a brother to me, Ben, shout out. And he was living in La Paz, and I was like, "Okay, well, like, I'll just, like, drive towards Ben, and then I'll figure it out from there," kinda thing. Yeah. And so everyone I met along the way coming down, they were like, "Oh, you're like so Todos Santos, like you're like it's such a vibe." And I'm like, "What is this place? Like, what do you
Yeah.
mean?" And then I'm like, "Oh my god, there's, like, pressure. Like, what if me and Todos Santos don't vibe?" And then I get there, because it is a real, like, artist community, a lot of free spirits kinda come, like, you find artists in several mediums in many, many capacities, all kinda kinda show up here, and then they never leave, so that's kinda Todos Santos definitely has that energy to it, and so, yes, we did fall in love, Todos Santos and I, so, I'm still here, I'm here.
That's
Man,
incredible.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to me because, you're, like, the 2nd or 3rd person that I know that has moved to Mexico during this year,
Ah, yeah.
and I think there's something with Mexico that's just, like, it's calling people, and I
Mm,
feel like what you're describing, it is this sort of, like, if this year is gonna provide, like it's,
mm.
like, gonna toss you into the wind and, like, you have no guarantees, then someplace like Mexico, I feel like, is just, like, the epitome of that too, you know?
Yeah, I do know, I really feel that on a deep level, and also, like, I'm just gonna say something a little, like, out there, but, whatever, no need for a disclaimer. Like, Mexico is female. Like, Mexico's a
Mm,
Yeah.
So I feel like as we're, moving towards that like age of Aquarius and we're more community centric and like we're coming together, there's more gatherings, like the values within Mexico are so strong. They're so colorful, musical, family oriented. Um, Together, community is everything. So it
yeah.
makes sense that it's calling certain female heart, maybe female, maybe not, but like that there's work to do here, like the good work, the heart work.
Mhm.
And I feel like Mexico really allows for that.
Yeah, I mean, as you were talking, yeah, it absolutely 1,000% makes sense. Like, I just watched I think it's actually not even a new show, it's like an old show by, his last name's Patel. I can't remember his first name, but he took his parents down, Indian American guy, South Asian, took his parents down to Mexico, and they did a whole show on just Mexico and the communities there, and this one particular area, I forget exactly where they were, but it was, so many people go and retire there, but it's so lively. There's so much life and there's just so
Mhm.
much. I think the word community that you use is absolutely, it's like people, you live with your families, these extended families in one house, in one, place, and everybody's taking care of each other. And it's generations upon generations all together. It's actually quite like the Asian way of doing things too, which I found
Mm.
really interesting. And I didn't
Yeah.
know that until I watched this. So yeah, it's like when we're all feeling so separate and so divided and so, like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, Mexico, like
Yeah.
it's bringing us back together. It's rad.
Yeah, and as of 3 days ago, I'm now living with 2 women, and we've got so now there's 3 of us, and we're like, "Let's go ahead and, like, design this life, like, let's go ahead and choose our new, like, very modern realities," which is that, like, we all have gifts to share with one another, and we're, like, coexisting is like a consistent celebration of each other's, like, natural tendencies, and, like, living together is, like, I don't know, it's very much an option, which I feel like somehow we, like, block that out as if that wasn't something we would have ever strived for, like, being in our early, mid-30s and being like, "You know what? I'm gonna have dogs. No, I don't, maybe I don't want to have kids, and maybe I'm not seeking a romantic partnership. Maybe I do want to live with my sisters, and maybe we will buy land, and maybe we will, create something new and live in community." And I just feel that air coming. It's such a welcoming.
Mm.
It's such an option, and I think, we just need as soon as we start to see it or hear about it or talk about it, then it's like, "Oh, that's, like, popping up, like, that's not all that feels really good in my water." I say that, it feels good in my like, I'm vibing if I
Yeah.
could see the water cells, they'd be doing a happy, like, they'd be, like, really cute. Have you guys seen that, like, The Secret, like, the hidden messages in water?
Okay, I have been thinking about that book for, like, months now. It's a book, right?
Yes, it's mostly
Yeah.
a picture book, but yes, it
Okay,
is.
I need to get that book. I've been thinking about it for a really long time, but you're not the first person to bring it up, but I'm obsessed with this idea that, like, the way that your energy exists around stones or around plants or around animal, like anything in your aura basically, like, is 1,000% affected by the energy that you're putting out. And, like, the fact that they know that you can see that and change these molecules in the
Yeah.
water just by talking to it is so crazy.
Not just talking to it, but also, like, he printed out, like, words in different
Yeah,
languages and
yeah,
wrapped it around the water bottles and froze it, and the words themselves it's not like, water can read,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it picks
Yeah.
up that energy, right? Like,
yeah,
so it blew my mind. I was like, "What the fuck? This is insane,"
Yeah,
you know?
that's so intense to think about.
and I
I
love
love
it, like,
that.
it seems like water because it has more density than, like, air and energy, and so, like but, like, that's living within inside of us, so it's not just, like, our energetics on the outside of our physical body, that, like, is within our
Mhm.
physical body, and that is exciting, like, that's really fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
that lights me up, and Sam, let's get you that let's make that happen for you.
I know, I
Yeah.
know. I'm not surprised you brought it up though, because I've been thinking about it so much, and that keeps happening to me right now, like, all these synchronicities, and I'm like,
Love
"Alright, I
it.
got the message. I'm gonna get it now."
You're in the universe's current. You're
Yeah.
doing the damn thing. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're starting I think I saw a post recently that you did about how you're gonna be hosting retreats down in
True.
Mexico.
Yeah, I
Tell me
am.
about that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just think about, like, everything that I love so much and be like, "Okay, cool." Like, this is something I, like, definitely came to terms with and accepted in myself just not so long ago, but like recently is that like if I'm loving it, if I'm vibing on this, then other people are going to love it too. And I don't need to try anything extra than what it is. You
Heck
know, so
yeah.
I'm like, let me go ahead and carve out like my idealistic day. I'm like, well, this is the place. This is it. This is what I'm living. This is what's true to me. It's created with ease, and love rather than this effort or something like really far-fetched or outside of ourselves with all this risk and all this necessity around money and fear around not getting enough people to show up and kind of thing like that. So I've been offered like a really cool like way to do it, which is that with friends of mine who were also full-time RVers who I met out on the beach while we were parked up for a month. They've created an Airbnb that's right in the historic district, right in the center of Todos Santos. There's 2 glamping tents, 3 beautiful casitas, and I just like I just wanna host. That's it. I mean,
Wow.
that's it. Like, it's nothing more kooky, cray cray, salesy than that. It's just that simple. I
Just
wanna
giving
gather.
community a place
Exactly.
together.
Here it is, here's
Fuck
the
yeah,
spot.
that's
Let's
amazing.
go. Yeah. Like, let's have our coffee and our pastry and our green juice delivered in the morning because I go to that shop every day anyway. You know, like, it's like I know how to
Yeah,
support local here. I know how, like, I know the flow of the community and where to turn up and how it goes and knowing that, like, ahorita, which means right now, you know, it really just means like whenever. That's kind of the vibe. So like I feel like I can really share that energy with people because I'm living here. I understand and learning how to integrate and be more supportive and like, you know, co-connected with where I'm at. So yeah, I just want people to come down, and then on top of that, not just like oh a retreat that we need to idolize or like worship for 4 days and then never do it again, or like I'll see you in a year, you know, kind of old school. It's like no, let's just keep that vibe going. And if you guys want to come down and stay in Mexico for a couple months, like just come and stay. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
fuck.
Yeah.
I'm
God,
like, that sounds like my dream.
I know. Oh my god, that's freaking incredible. I mean, there's no reason why not, you know what I
Well, that's
mean?
it.
Like, all
Yeah,
the reasons why not have, like, been
Yeah.
completely obliterated this year. I feel like that
Right.
is so badass.
Yeah, and I mean, especially, like, California, like, the whole I mean, I don't know, have you guys heard that term Cascadia? I mean, like,
No.
Oregon, Vancouver Island, like, the
mhm.
whole kind of West Coast is, like, grouped in and they're kinda like they talk about it being, like, a world of its own, like, country.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and, you know, it's like that it's so close. We're, like, not that far it's, like, right here. It's just a continuation. It's just so it's so within realm of possibility.
Have the local community, like, fully embraced you and everyone that has sort of come down there?
I would say I mean, yeah, like you were saying, like, there's quite a big, like, expat kind of retiree community,
Mhm.
and not
Mhm.
that that's going anywhere, but I definitely feel like it's being breathed a new life, like, there's a new influx, of energy and the types of people that are kind of working really, really well and interconnectedly together. So it's cool because what I really like about here, like this town specifically, is that there is no like separation. It's kind of a bit of a melting pot where you'll see locals and you know tourists at the same restaurant. Like that's very there. Everyone's intermingling. There's not like a oh, you know, locals can't afford it there, so they can't go there. That's not everyone like the shop owners and, you know, restaurant owners and stuff.
It's a
It's like
true community.
it's
Yeah.
really it's kinda funky and, it's cool. It's I love it. I'm a big fan. So, you guys are welcome here anytime. It's I mean, my
Oh,
friend
we're
flew
so
down from
there.
Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, can we
San
do it
Fran
tomorrow?"
yeah, I mean, from San Francisco, it's a 2.5 hour direct flight. Like, what? So
Oh,
simple.
man.
Yeah.
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 You know, I also think, like, what you're doing is so amazing because of where you are in a lot of ways, especially now that people are feeling really like tied down to specific locations based on where they live or where they were when COVID, first popped up. And like, to your point, we totally overlook all of these amazing opportunities that are just right next to us because
Yeah.
we've just never looked there before.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, it's easy to do.
Yeah, it's like I feel like we've just been sort of in these like self-appointed prisons for so long, you
Yeah.
know? Like it's always no before you say yes, you know what I mean? Versus like why not just say yes all the time, you know?
And then, like,
And
backstep if you need, like, but dance on out if you need to. It's like it
yeah,
doesn't need a big
Yes.
something, right? You just, like, is a
right.
continuation, not a hard stop, hard go, like,
Exactly.
it's
Exactly.
not rigid like that, but our systems have made it seem as though that's the best way to be, cooperative, and, like, that's how you fit in, and that's how, like, you stay out of, like, consequences way, or, like, you keep it under the radar.
Yeah.
Well, I made an agreement to myself that I never wanna fly under the radar again, period, end of story, like, full stop. I don't
Yeah.
want to be under the radar. I wanna be above it.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
I know.
Fuck yeah.
It's so rad. I mean, it's like as you're talking to, I mean, and I don't really honestly know the history that well, but what's coming to mind is like in the 50s when, people started this whole concept of the nuclear family and like moving out to
Mhm.
the suburbs and like,
Mhm.
having all this space and like all the, the fence around the house so that you're protected and blah, blah.
Mm.
It's like tearing all that shit down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And
literally just had that. I think I told you about this, Elle, but like my dad was out in the desert with me, I think in August. I don't even remember when now, but he was having this conversation with me about, I mean, he just so does not understand what Ellen and I are building and what
Right.
we're creating. Cause he's like, first generation immigrant, like his, he literally sat and looked me in the eye and started talking to me about my younger sister. And he was like, Morgan, she's married, she's got a house, they're paying a mortgage, they've got life insurance, they've got health insurance, they've got steady paychecks, they're living the American dream. And I looked at him and I was like, Dad, that's your American dream. And I was like, that feels like 1,000 balls and chains to me. Like,
Mm.
yeah,
my
yeah.
soul cannot be held down by all of these material things.
Mhm. It's so interesting when when we're doing the healing work and we're just like, I mean, I'm stoked to be on the self-actualization game, like, on a regular, but, like, super chill, super chill. But just bring it in so casual, right? And just, like, see where we can build those blocks together, but having that perspective shift from having, people's ideas as, like, imposed upon us, where then we're like, "Wait a second, that is your projection." Like, I'm, like, gonna go ahead and not, swallow that, like, that's actually not for me. Like, I'm
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm, like, down, that's cool, and it's not, and then you don't, like, hold it so rigidly in your body. You're like, "Oh, if they could only be different, why don't they get it? Oh." Like, no, that's, like, not my weight to carry. Like, that's cool that that's, like, your
That's
projection.
literally Yeah, that's literally exactly what I told Ellen. Because as I was like reflecting on this conversation afterwards with Ellen, I was like, he said some things where I was really shocked by my own reaction to it. Because
Mhm.
where normally they would have been kind of triggers for me, I just remember feeling like really peaceful and thinking like, I'm sorry, but that is not my weight to carry. Like,
Beautiful. Wow. Freedom.
yeah, I can't hold that for you.
Yeah.
But it was like
Wow.
a really amazing moment. And then, of course, my family came back out for Thanksgiving. And then like I reverted back to all of these like areas where I was like, oh God, oh, I have a lot to work on after you guys
Right.
leave.
It's always a spiral. It's always
Yeah.
a spiral.
Yeah, totally.
I There's something also about, like and this is really fresh in my mind because I literally just got back to LA from spending a month in Idlewild in the mountains, like, kind of near the
Mm.
desert, but it's basically, like, really close to Palm
Mhm.
Springs, and, there's the little tiny cabin that I rented, there's a little road that kind of goes all the way up and it ends in this RV campground. And so my husband and I, we walk there like almost every day and just kind of, I mean, it was a beautiful, like almost like a park, you know. So you go in there and there's like hiking trails and all sorts of stuff. And I was just observing people parking, you know, their RVs. Some of them were like long term for sure. Like they had their own little like picnic table. I mean, the setup looked like they were like there, you know, like they're almost like fixtures there. But there's also people who are transient that were just like coming in for the weekend or the week or whatever. And I was just like, I was marveling at how amazing that lifestyle was because you are so fluid and free to go as you wish,
Mm,
wherever you want to go. Your home is with you. And
mm,
I don't know, I just feel like the choices that we make in our lives in terms of it's related to attachments, yes, but it's also like how you choose to live also contributes to your freedom, right? So
Yeah.
it's not just an inside thing. It's also, I
mm.
mean, you're in an RV. You can literally go wherever you want to go at any moment's notice, and to not have like such a plan for like tomorrow's gonna be this, the next day's gonna be this, and you know, and to just be sort of at the whim of like whatever your heart wants at the moment. To me, it feels like that to me is freedom, like real freedom.
Mm, yeah. Mm. That's the warmth. That's yeah. For so many people, like, I felt like, the most grounded I've actually ever felt has been in the middle of the ocean, so, like, neutrally buoyant, actually not held, by the earth. I actually feel more myself, um and more connected when I'm disconnected, if you will, and, like, I've felt more grounded within this little home that, like, happens to be on 6 wheels, than I would, it actually being sat on the earth, so there's something about that, and I think that has to do a lot with our characters, and so, yeah, I've always felt more natural, with that, like, I feel grounded and safer when I know that there's elements of, movability, flexibility, adaptability.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
What you gonna
And
do
you,
about it, Ellen?
yeah, I love it.
Well, I mean, we're like actually in the process of like finalizing a retreat out in Idlewild and like getting our
Okay.
asses out of the city and like
Okay.
realizing like that is going to be the next move for us. Like, you know,
Beautiful.
it's something, my husband's a musician, so
Okay.
just to have the space to create, and then for me, you know, the breath work and then all these things that Sam and I are doing together,
Ah,
it's like I came back a completely different person. And
wow.
I think, you know, it's like I think Sam, I was telling you this, and I was also telling another friend who asked me that after I got back, like, so how does it feel? And I'm like, you know, and you opened up with this, like time is, I have no idea what the hell time is anymore
Yeah.
because I feel like the last month, it's almost like it was a dream. Like I came back and I came back into my regular life in my loft in downtown Los Angeles and, you know, picked up, it's not like it felt bad. I like came back and it's just like, it just clicked right back in place again. But when I think about the last month and the heart expansion and the activations I experienced and, you know, communing with the stars and the pine trees out there and all this stuff, it literally feels like it never happened. It feels like it was a different reality that I was living in, an alternate space that, you know, I can always access through the quantum, like through my mind, but it's like like I literally feel like I jumped time, like lifetimes or something. And it's the strangest, most surreal feeling. And I can't quite articulate it very well. But yeah, it doesn't feel like, I know it was me and I know I lived it and I brought all those experiences and this heart expansion back with me. But it's like like it's almost like I just dreamt it, you know, like it never happened.
I love that so much, and I resonate with it so much, and I feel like it's like it's like what happens when the healing work starts to work, you know?
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
think what then to answer that, like, in a very kind of abstract way, is like this. This is what
Yeah.
happened. Like, not to put it in some structured post and explain what it was and, do the thing that we've been taught to do, or feel like we have to express, but you don't have to. It is this space in between. It's like, actually, oh no, I think we're doing it now. But like no one like actively is talking about what you do now once you have really been actively doing the work and have, reached different depths and edges of yourself within your heart space and really truly entered and have had the breath of life enter you and to be in the present moment and living from that space. It is the most infinitely expansive, non-describable experience and absolutely 100% dreamlike because we were like, oh, if it feels ethereal, then it's not reality. But now ethereal is very much becoming a part of our new realities in this lifestyle that we're creating for ourselves, which is like, being free in the mind space, being free and restricted from like holding, traumas within our bodies and rigidities and triggers and tensions and things. And like, oh, we are doing that. And that's why we're doing it. It's interesting. And that's beautiful, Ellen. Thank you so much for sharing that. I completely relate.
I love what you said about bringing the ethereal into reality. That is so that's exactly what it is. It's like allowing that and not just, allowing it to happen in meditation, but allowing it to be your life,
Yes.
and to take up every aspect of your every minute of your life, every second of your living. It's that
Yes.
is your meditation. It's like integrating it fully that
Mhm.
I had never experienced before until
Mhm.
this last month. And
Wow.
that is how I live,
That's so powerful. And also, though, like to your point, pretty much this whole podcast, like, who says we can't? Like,
Right.
it's so
Right.
crazy because now that it is becoming part of the reality, I find myself like constantly thinking about, like, how did these other structures get built in a way that people just sort of like put their heads down and just charged forward and never questioned anything and never said like, well, this doesn't align with me. And like
Mhm.
for so long, so many of us have been on sort of the outskirts of that, who were, you know, not not willing to settle for like these conditioned expectations. And now they're all crumbling. And it's like, well, we get to build whatever we fucking want now. And why
Exactly.
didn't we do it before? But like, here we are. So let's like ride this wave.
Like, that is a full fist pump to the air. Like, that is I
Yeah.
am in that swing and in that flowmentum completely, and I think we have our souls to thank for that. I love
Mhm.
I love to, like, give my soul props sometimes. If I it'll come up and I'll be like, "Oh," you're like, "Why? Why was it like, where were those people doing that thing?" And then that's the way the system and that's how we were compliant. It's like, well, because your soul chose, that incarnation, I'm pointing to you, and you're in this time to make that big shift and be amongst, like, the leaders of the new world. So, like, well done, soul. Thank you for having my back on this one. Appreciate you.
Hmm.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
like, props, like, you've been preparing a long time for this.
It's so true. It's
Yes.
so true. Yeah, and I totally can relate to that feeling you were talking about where you're like, there just wasn't a choice. Like I had to go and it was time. And
Mhm.
I remember when I lived in Denver, that's exactly what pulled me out to LA. And when I got to LA, I didn't have a job. I didn't know anybody. And I was like, it's either gonna happen or it doesn't.
Yeah.
I got an Airbnb for 3 weeks and interviewed for some jobs and then just never went back. And I was like, I knew it didn't matter how it was going to happen. Like I was leaving
Yeah.
and it was like, it was literally like a physical pull that
Yes.
I had to follow. And it's so magical when you do. Like looking back, I'm like, thank God I did that. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Totally.
Of course. Yeah, thank you for saying yes. It's like, wow, we allowed ourselves, even like fear wasn't enough. Like comfortability wasn't
yeah.
enough. So
Yeah.
different things were at play there, and so much gratitude for that, for
Yeah.
ourselves. Mhm.
And one of the really incredible things that I love about what you do is that you are able to take all of these experiences and like bring these communities together and really share inspiration out to like really like meaningful communities who really appreciate it, like through your astro blog, and you just launched Moth Her. And like tell us a little bit about those and what inspired you to start them, because I think they're just so incredible. It's like I aspire to like be as inspirational as you are.
Oh my gosh, wow, thank you. Woo! Amazing. Thank you for that love language of affirmation. That's beautiful. I would have never really considered myself like a excuse me, a community-centric person in the past. I've been really reserved and closed off and have been blocked from allowing myself to like really be seen, like held, witnessed, and like be equals. And like, I've said this a couple times because the visualization strong is so strong. And it's just that I don't want to just bring greatness to the table. Like I want to sit amongst it. I want to be amongst greatness. And in my life, I've never really, okay, I'm using air quotes here, stuck around long enough f- for that to happen, nor was that ever a part of my path, but I used to really come head to head with that and like be like so challenged by that because that's what I've wanted more than anything, but haven't found it within like, like physical communities because I've been so transient that like they're either established or hard to break into, or they lack authenticity, or like, it's just like, ugh. So here I am in my feeling free, untethered, and like grounded within that, in that uncertainty and that unknown. And then, I had just set myself up, like I had just about 3 days before the pandemic became a thing. I was like, I choose to be here. I put a call out, in the community and saying, like, I got a dog and I've got an RV, and like, is there a piece of land that I can come and stay on, or take care of the garden or something like that. And I was welcomed in on, it was March 13th. It was a Friday the 13th. And I was like, well, what do I do now? And that's when kind of Altrea Vita hit. And so I wanted that to be like an in-person thing where I wanted to host like storytelling events and like gatherings where like people are evolving out loud and like everyone's like co-learning from each other and connecting. And I think I'm also in a 2 year, like numerology speaking, so it's really all about relationships, connections, like community, learning how to compromise. I'm an only child and I've chosen my life very much independently. That's been very natural. And so, I was alone. I didn't have Wi-Fi, but I was like, well, I gotta connect somehow. I did have a little 3G in my little yard spot. And then the pandemic hit and everyone, got busying up their virtual schedules as like an immediate response, which I was like completely repelled by. It felt like it made me feel almost physically sick. And then I was like, well, but I do need like if anything is clear right now, it is that we need connection more than anything in the world. Like it's clear that a lot of things are going to be unearthed in this next little while. And so why not build a castle in the sky? Like why not go ahead and just like create this dream that has like been building in my heart space for so long, and then just like see what happens and let myself do it, because there's not really any consequence. There's, like, nothing on the line here, like, everyone's online, but, like so it's, like, nothing's on the line, but everyone's online. That's funny. So, I just started making phone calls. I just got on the line. I was like, "I'm gonna call you up right now." Like, "Who is this person?" And I just be like, "Hey, so, like, are you kinda, like, grossed out by, like, all of this, like, overconsumption and mass media and all these, like, folks really like spewing around what they think they should do in this kind of weird and crazy time. But like, do you want to actually like connect though? Like, is that something cool for you? And they're like, yeah. And so then that's how the New Motive magazine became a thing. And so like at one point, one of the months, there were actually 35 creative contributors from all around the world. And
Wow.
I wanted it to be experiential so that it was multimedia, not just writing. Like, and also it's really cool because like, when do you ever get published if you're not like considered a writer? Like, you know, if you've got something really dope to share, but you don't necessarily like consider yourself as having like strong writing skills or capabilities, then how do you get your message across if it's not on Instagram? You know, so
Right.
yeah, so I was like, oh well, I want to do that, you know, like let's do that. And also again with like the time not really being a real thing, but I was like, something I do vibe with is you know, going back to basics and like being amongst like the seasonal changes, the natural changes, and like the cosmic changes. So why not, you know, shift gears and like make this whole thing revolved around the astrological seasons rather than, you know, the Gregorian calendar months. So that was I'm just starting to show some of my quirks, you know, like, and I was allowing myself to show some of my quirks. So it was really cool because that was really healing for me to like let myself be this like changeable and ever evolving human, and like letting other people see it for the first time was really neat. It was really cool. This is also around the time that my mom got sick, so excuse me. Yeah, I started I want to tell you guys this, and so I'm sorry, I'm just gonna like move away. I appreciate you know all the I
No,
want to
go for
answer
it.
I want to answer your question, but like in a roundabout way, if I might, and then I'll forget what the question was, and then we'll just like take a deep breath. But so it was on March 10th that I received like what I'll consider the cosmic download, all of the ideas, innovations, you know, the visions of what at the time was Ultrea Vita. All of that came in, like it just arrived. And you know, and then it was probably about a month later or something, and my mom started to, you know, lose her mind. Let's just, you know, lovingly and lightly say, without kind of, you know, with being direct. And I was like, what is like something, you know, is happening here? And then I talked to my stepdad like a few weeks later, and I said, when did you like notice that mom kind of like really took a sharp left, you know, like when did that happen? And he said, March 10th. And I was like, wow, like, whoa, like that was the real, I think, shift of power, like where she was like, started to, you know, her systems were starting to slow. So she's like, I might here, now's the time I'm going to pass this to my daughter, you know, so the legacy can then be built within her. And, you know, that was like the transfer.
Wow.
That's so powerful.
And it remains that way, and everything that's been built and evolved since, now being, and then we'll get to that in a sec, but then, so I just wanted to put like, creativity has always been my drug of choice. You know, when we were younger and you'd have to say a name to describe you with the letter of your name, creative Christa, like Christa, creative, charismatic, let's go. So I was just like, rolling with that, and people were digging it. And I was like, whoa, I really mess with this. Like, this is it. Like, I'm vibing. But then I went, you know, totally overboard, of course, as you do, classic. And yeah, I kept it going for the people, but also it was like my lifeline. You know, it really became my little handheld device, became my actual lifeline for that time. And I believe that the reason my mom had me set all of that up, was so that I'd never be alone, and that I would be able to let myself be seen, received, and supported, by others when she was no longer here, because my mom was always my home. So my home became my expression, and I really leaned into that.
No.
That is incredible.
Mm.
Did she pass soon after, or
So
transition soon
she
after?
did. So we got the news on May 3rd that there was nothing that could be done, that the cancer had spread. It was so widespread, and the reason we were seeing the shifts, like in her, in her cognitive processing, was that the tumor in her brain was like applying pressure, like it was like pressurized, and it was so far gone. So she was given 4 weeks to live.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
And it was such a wildfire, and that's so true to her. That makes me proud of her, actually. That, she's an Aries, and she had red hair, and she wouldn't want to mess about, like, let's not diddle daddle this around. Like, I don't need this extra attention. Like, get out of here. Like, don't be bringing me soup.
I love that.
I don't want you in my house. Like, just go away. Like, I think COVID was in her favor. I mean, I know that, like, that I recognize that as a very specific situation. I say that from my heart without any meaning of like any offense or any disrespect to anyone else's personal experience during this year. But I really believe that she chose, like, that COVID was like a shield for her, and that, like, it allowed her to go in grace in the way that she would have chose. So I understand that's unique, but this year is unique. So, that's the way.
Wow. You two have such a beautiful soul connection.
We do. Yeah. It's stronger than ever. And
that's really special.
I remember the first time that I felt like her heart entering my heart. And it was almost, I've never been a mother on this earth, never carried a human in my body, but I understand what it is to carry a human heart in my heart, and that's her heart.
Wow.
I love that.
I know. So beautiful.
Do you guys want to have your mind blown? Just quick, just real.
Yeah, please.
So then, okay, so Altria kind of like ran its course, and it was doing the thing. It was really creative, but like in kind of like not coming from the best, like nurtured and, sacred. Like it was the work was sacred. It was beautiful and creative and supportive, and so much of my values were expressed, but I had given myself no ground to stand on for me to feel like, a part of it. I like put other people, I was like, just show them, like light them, like I never mind me, but like everything that I do and create and breathe has to be from me. It has to be. That's just the way it is. Like the lessons and the writing and the whatever it needs to, like there's room for all of us. So I need to go into my grief tank and get real gritty and like let myself be in that sacred space and fucking break wide open. I really needed to do that. And what my mom wasn't pressuring me to do was be more productive and like get more shit done, and like, don't you have your business running by now? Like, you just lost me and it's the COVID and you're doing this. No, she wouldn't want that, actually. So I surrendered to that. I changed the Altrea Veda. I took it off. I said, I can't carry that anymore. I went back into my name, which is, that's great. And then started slowly coming out of my cocoon again. And then the name, and I love names. I have Gemini and Lilith, and Chiron and Lilith in Gemini. So that's fascinating. That's for another time. But I love words. I love dynamic. I love I love a multi-dimensional word. I love a word that is evocative, that is like that there's multiple meanings and feelings and interpretations like that. I like mess with that, really. And so the name Moth, it just like, hello, like there it was. But like it was specific that there was a dot in it, not just for the Instagram handle. but the dot was important. And so I was like, all
Yeah,
right, I'll mess with that dot.
I
Um,
totally get that.
do you
You
know
read it
what's
so
about to
differently with
happen
the
though?
dot.
Do you know where
No.
we are with the dot? Okay. So then I was like, oh, one morning, like a couple days after Moth Her had just been birthed, and I was just like, you know, a new mother, but also a new daughter. I was just like in that vibe, you know, really feeling elevated and expanded. And just like, oh, moth, dot, her, moth. Oh my God. Moth daughter.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Oh my
God. I'm
god.
freaked out. Like, so not
That's amazing.
so not only is it like Moth Her, like mother, but it's inclusive of the daughter. It's both.
That's
That's so rad.
incredible.
Yeah. So that just like
Holy
blew me.
shit.
Yeah. So there's a little
That
like
just blew my
that was
mind.
just like a secret little treasure from her.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
That
Mhm.
is probably the coolest handle I've ever seen.
I know. I know. I literally, when you launched it, I
Yeah.
remember like I sat and I looked at it for a long
Right.
time and I was like, fuck, this is such a good name. Like, how did
Right.
she come up with this? Because
I don't
it
yeah.
really is.
Right.
Like,
Oh my gosh.
And then also so
I
like the
read it
whole
so many different ways.
yeah. Yeah, it's so interpretive, like, it's so, like, open, and then there's the, you know, the symbol to go along with it, which is so much more than a symbol, like, it's based on the uterus, I don't know, some people can see that, some people, you know, see an owl, they've seen an elephant, they see a mask, so it's based on the uterus, so this female, power, you know, the womb, all where all miracles in life comes from. Um, and you know, the thing about moths and butterflies is like they've like they've been different before. Like they're like proof like that there's been like true transformation, like real life, like in this lifetime, like they've already lived in a different way. So
Or-
now they're here. They're never just new. Like it's not like, oh hey, it's me and my new brand. It's like, no, hasn't it always been here though? Like
Yeah,
it's kind of like
So
that.
rad.
And then
totally.
within the Moth Her wings, I'll just give you a secret. And this is not something I would normally, you know, people figure it out, that's fine, but I'll share this with you guys is that so within the wings, there are two eyes, and those are my eyes. And I was gifted the name Sunflower Soul Child. And I actually am going a little bit blind in my left eye currently. It can be fixed and it will be fixed. I have cataracts. And when I went to the what's his whatever the surgeon guy, you know, to get the thing done. He said, "This is actually what we call like sunflower eyes. You see too much light."
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then my favorite number is 37, and there are 37 petals in the eye. So there it is.
Whoa.
I
Depth.
love I love I mean,
This is
just
so
the
cool.
consciousness, the intentionality, everything, the thoughtfulness. That's amazing. It's so beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, it feels that way. It feels like a gift every single day. And I'm like, what can I learn from you today?
Yeah.
You know, what do you want to
I'm
share
obsessed.
today? Yeah. What do you want to express? How you want to be? Like, how's it going? And I just learned that a grouping of and so I've recently started exploring like the kaleidoscopic memoir art that I'm creating.
So rad. I love it.
Thank you. It's so fun. I've been just like
Yeah.
going for it, and I love to see people in that way, in that light, and then the song comes. It's a whole thing. But a grouping of butterflies or winged beings is called a kaleidoscope. Get out of here.
Oh,
Like,
really?
get
I
out.
did
Oh
not know that.
How
Holy shit.
cool. Like, how dope.
What?
Yeah.
You just have divine creativity like pouring out of your
Well,
body from every like
My
Seriously.
direction.
my last name is Fontaine, right, which is fountain. So the way that I understand it, the way it feels in human design, I'm also a generator. So it is like
Oh yeah.
ever flowing, ever like always providing. Creativity specifically. Not everything else, other things take work, but the creativity is definitely the name of the game for me. It just is. Yeah.
So awesome.
I
Oh,
know.
Oh my
yes.
gosh, I'm going to be thinking about this conversation for such a long time. And
Same.
I feel like we're so fortunate to get to share this with our community. So thank you. Oh my God, this is
Mm.
amazing. And
Yeah.
also a little head scratch. Here's another little head scratcher that I think will,
Oh.
I'm really fascinated to hear your answer on this one. But like, as you're
Okay.
reflecting on everything that's happened in the past year, like, what do you
Yeah.
think is the most valuable lesson you're going to take away from 2020?
Ooh, good one. Good one.
Ooh, I know, right?
That we get to create our own realities from the ground up, that we have a lot more bravery than we've ever been taught or that were ever showcased before. That living in the new realm of infinite possibility is actually the way forward. And that, in
Oh my God,
this
I just got chills.
in this year specifically, I've never felt as intimately close with death. Of course, being like face to face, but not actually, but being apart, is that we all just keep going.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like in life, in here now, and also like when we're in our transcendent experiences, meditation, where the breath keeps going, it just changes shape. You just change shape, and if you want to stay somewhere, then stay somewhere. If you're ready to leave, please leave. Like if you're
Yeah.
ready to love, please love, and please let love in.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Oh my gosh. I want to like print that on a t-shirt.
I know, seriously.
I love you.
We love you. This is so
Yeah,
awesome.
I know. Thank you for sharing all of this with us, like your whole life and just wow, your wisdom. This is incredible.
You're
Yeah.
incredible too.
Yeah.
We are all daughters.
Truly.
Yeah.
Oh, I
We
love you
are.
for saying that.
Oh my
Wow.
Mm.
And okay, so here's my last head scratcher question,
Okay.
just because I'm always so fascinated. Okay, so as you look forward to next year, and everybody is still learning to live with COVID and the uncertainty of what's ahead, what do you think is the biggest piece of wisdom we can use?
So I'll just say the first thing that came to my mind, which is something I just like sillily said out loud, which is like the goal is to remain whole. So with that, take that in any direction that you need to, but it's like, when we're choosing, whether it be like our food choices, our relationships, our environment, our work, whatever, if we can just like have that check-in to keep it as whole as possible. Like just know that we have that capacity already. That's already within us. Like it is already just like set. It's just like our job to continue to fuel ourselves and keep the goal of staying whole. That might be too abstract, but
No, I think that's actually super incredible, because
I guess just like
such a
with
unique perspective.
with every like decision that gets made, and we have so many in a day, is just like, okay, like, does this support like my wholeness? Like, is this something that actually chips
Yeah.
away, or does it contribute? And like, if we can just make micro decisions from that, like simple, self-loving, compassionate place as like a tiny little like fun, like practice that doesn't, it's just like so consistently integrated and like, moving forward, um, then we can build towards a better, fuller, more whole world, and because we're cultivating that within ourselves first. So find out what that means to you personally, and decide that you're going to let your values like lead the way, and like, put into your wholeness first.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that all the time. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. The last and probably most important thing is like, how can people find you if they want to work with you, like attend your retreats, or contribute to the
Sure.
blog, or
Oh,
anything that
yeah.
you have going on? Give us
Amazing.
give us all the stats so we can share your shit.
Share my shit. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, everything you can land and be held on Moth Her's wings, at moth.her, for all Insta, and then for the website it's moth-her, .com, and all of the submissions, everything that's going on, information is available. Instagram, I would probably say I'm definitely most active on currently. I just can't stay off it. It's just the good shit, but uh, and yeah, that's it. And then I've got my personal thing too, but right now really all my creative eggs are in the Moth Her basket, I've got to say. So that may change, but for now that's what it is. I just feel like, she has such infinite wingspan, so like there's just so much space to dance in with her, so that's where we're at. It's all there.
Oh,
Love it.
magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you so much.
Oh, I love you.
This has
Thank you.
been such a dream. Made my whole day. I love it. I'm gonna sit with this for a long time.
I
Thank
know.
you so much. I
Same.
can't wait to hear us back. I love, like, that's another thing, like loving our own voice is like such a clutch hot tip for like, the self-love journey. Like, learn to love your own vibration, literally the sound of your own voice. Like, if I record something, I play it back to myself immediately and like indulge. I'm like, give me the goods, babe. I'm like, literally,
I love that.
I love it. I'm like, oh my God, yeah. Like, put on the Madame. Like, I want to hear the soundtrack. I love it. So like, learn to love your own voice, record yourself, and then listen back and enjoy it, and just savor it, and like, oh, mess it all about. So good. So I will be listening. I can't wait to
mess it all about.
Yeah.
That's also going on a t-shirt.
I know. That's such good advice, honestly. There's so many people that just cannot hear themselves,
Right, they cringe, or like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh no,
Yeah.
why do they sound like that, or whatever. Yeah, no, love that shit. That's your frequency. You can't put a price on that.
You just shifted my whole perspective. I cannot wait. Starting with this conversation, guys.
This one.
Music for Woo New is composed by Adam Miller.